I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 24th of August. And you know what? The weather just doesn't feel that bad today. Sure, it's pretty warm out, but nothing like the heat we had 3 weeks ago. Now, let's take a look at some of the Skycam shots and that dry air making for a very blue summer sky. That looks more like fall, doesn't it? That's the view coming from Fayette up in northwest Alabama. Humidity values are quite low, many spots down in the 30% bracket with those lower dew points. Up the road in Hamilton, same sky, deep blue. Again, it looks more like October instead of August. And down south, kind of hazy at Gulf Shores. That's the view coming from the Phoenix All Suites, looking back to the west. But the sky there is absolutely cloudless. Yeah, check out that dry air covering Alabama in the deep south. In fact, much of the eastern third of the nation, very dry. Very strong trough digging down through the upper Midwest. Another cold front coming down the pike. You can see there from near Duluth, Minnesota, down into the Plain States, and that's going to reinforce the dry air already in place. Check out the temperatures. And hey, now, Birmingham's only at 88 at 2 o'clock. Could this be the end of the streak? I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to watch the observed high as that is reported later today. Tuscaloosa's got 92. Montgomery, the hot spot at 95. But look at the 80s elsewhere. Cullman, only 86. Haleyville, 87. And 89 for the Shoals and the Shelby County Airport. And there's the numbers around the nation. And again, look at all the 70s back behind that secondary front. Even some 60s and 50s in the mountains. I see 140 in the Colorado mountains out there. And again, that secondary push of drier air will likely arrive in here Thursday and more than likely prolong the dry spell for a while. In fact, there's the QPF chart showing no rain for the northern half of the state, valid through Sunday morning at 7 o'clock. Down south, you can see a pretty decent swath of rain for the Gulf Coast in the Gulf of Mexico. And again, that is the boundary down there between the maritime tropical air to the south and the dry continental air we are enjoying. And let's keep an eye on that for any tropical mischief. But look at the big picture in the tropics. And again, you can see our two systems off in the central and eastern Atlantic, very well defined. Hurricane Danielle and soon to be Earl. Back behind that, over in the far eastern Atlantic. First off, Danielle looking a little ragged. The maximum sustained winds are down to 80 miles per hour. It's got some shearing involved here. Most of the models in very good agreement. Again, most of the models have it east of Bermuda this weekend, well to the east of the United States. And the intensity, most of the models keep this thing in the Category 2 type bracket there for the next 120 hours. A couple of outliers, but you always have those. And there's the official track coming from the National Hurricane Center for Danielle. They've got it Sunday morning, well to the east of Bermuda. And, of course, well to the east of the United States coast. Let's check out the strong wave in the eastern Atlantic. Again, this looks like a tropical depression, quite frankly, to us right now. More than likely, they will upgrade that on the next advisory package this afternoon. And ultimately, we think this becomes Earl. Modeling. General motion there to the northwest. And again, once these things get up there above 20 north in the middle of the Atlantic, often they are pretty good candidates for recurvature, not affecting the United States. We don't know that yet. There's the intensity schemes. Most of the models ramp this thing up to a Category 1 hurricane before backing down the intensity a bit in about 120 hours. So we'll keep an eye on that one. In the Gulf of Mexico, again, it's disturbed, but nothing organized down there. That's the boundary between the dry air we have and the tropical air down to the south. The upper air winds don't favor any development there, but again, we'll keep an eye on things. Let's check the old GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow. 594 bubble back in the southwest, broad troughing over the east. And down below that, we stay relatively dry. In fact, we are dry. Little sliver of moisture slips up through Georgia, but again, we'll maintain a sunny forecast tomorrow. Like today, highs probably around 90, maybe low 90s, and the humidity fairly low. Morning lows in the 60s. Hey, Birmingham got down in the 60s this morning for the first time since July 5th. Thursday, same thing. We stayed dry, a reinforcing surge of dry air drops in here. Friday, again, that the core of that new surge of dry air is north of us, and there's an easterly flow, and the GFS hints at a little moisture east of here over Georgia and the Carolinas, but again, we'll leave it dry. And there's Saturday starting off the weekend. We got a big trough over the west coast, ridging here across the deep south, and yeah, it's Danielle out there in the Atlantic, well east of the United States. And here it looks like the same deal, a little moisture east of here, but we don't see enough evidence to mention any significant chance of rain for now. And Sunday, same thing. In fact, Sunday looks drier with that high strongly nosing in here, kind of a wedging type thing. Danielle is forced north, and again, it's going to recurve. There's Monday. We stay dry. Sunny weather for us. Danielle moving north. And Tuesday, a week from today, Danielle is well to the east of Maine, moving north up into the waters of the North Atlantic, and we stay dry as a bone. We'll go to Wednesday of next week, 1st of September. Yeah, here comes Earl. Earl the Pearl. You can see Danielle is exiting up there in the North Atlantic. Here comes Earl, following pretty much the same track. There's September 2nd. And look at how dry we are. I mean, we're talking this could be a pretty long dry stretch here. September 3rd. Earl, literally follows the same track as Danielle on this run. And on September 4th, Earl is up in the North Atlantic moving out to sea, and we are still very, very dry. Check the end of the forecast, 9th of September. Again, if you're looking for the first good polar front of the season, it's not going to happen with that. 588 ridging here across the deep south, and again, still looks relatively dry out there. This could be a pretty long little dry period for us. We'll see. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.
Weather.